Hello, hello. How are we all doing on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon? Hope we're doing good. Anyways, all right, let's do the replay now. All right. So, welcome. YouTube, hello. We're going to be doing a recap of the games that I played in the Super Qualifier. Uh because I figured this would be faster than me just recording it off stream. So I'm just going to try to go through all these in order. I'm going to try to remember. I'm just going to see the matchup. I don't remember exactly the matchups that I played. I had it in order. I had on my socials, but I'm not going to check that right now. We'll just see as we get into it. So without further ado, let's get into game one here. Boom. Round one, game one. Make sure it's showing up there. Yep. Okay, it's good there. Cool. I need to make sure. It's so confusing. I think it's the middle one. The middle one does it piece by piece. I end up, yeah. Also, for those who don't know, the replay system is very buggy on Modo, so I have to just do it like action by action. Yeah, okay, it is the middle one, because the other two buttons like get screwy, so I have to just do action by action on the middle one here. So I mulled a 6. I'm on the blind. Don't know what I'm up against. I keep this hand, and they go for a Wild Mikado. So I'm like, oh, okay, we're against Domain. So Domain, starting here, they kept 7. And if they lead on Temple Garden and Wild Mikado, it's kind of like a, oh, okay, it's like that's like the best case because our Halfling lives. I can resolve this Grist, and then we're in a really good spot. A draw Dried Arbor, not the best. Not the best. I watched it live, now watch it again. Actually, you didn't see this because this was off stream. Just play a capital G Wrist here. And then pass the turn. First, I think the first couple of turns are just pretty standard. You know, I mill over a chord, which was very sad. They swing at my capital G Wrist. I figure they have a Tribal Flames here, but I'm just gonna block anyways to make them have it. They don't. They have a Brawler, which I do have to kill because trample. So I end up getting a Green Sun Zenith for a Yawgmoth, and then down ticking to take out the Brawler. That way, if they do, that way I can keep my Grist alive as long as they don't have a burn spell or a Leyline Binding, and then I can kind of get value that way. I decided to block here with Dried Arbor to keep my Grist alive. They play that, but they do have the. Oh no, they don't. It's alive for one more turn. So they play Ragavan, which we're like, okay, cool. So now we just need to draw like a Yogg or anything, and we're in action. I mill over a Wall of Roots. I decide to keep the Boseiju in my hand in case they have a Scion or in the case they play a Leyline. Or Leyline Binding or a Leyline of the Guild Pact. Anyone else having trouble with understanding right now? Tony, what do you mean? Oh, stop party with family because the meat man is back on that yesterday. Hey, Lumberjack, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Accents. Oh my God, Tony, stop it. So they're swinging both at capital G Wrist. I think I trade with one of them. Yeah, I force a trade here. And then they do have the Tribal Flames for my Grist, so I'm like, oh, this is not good. And then I go to my turn. I draw Chord a turn late, and I'm like, oh, shoot. They fetch, they do that. I can't let them hit with this Ragavan because I don't want them to be getting things. So I forget what I do here. I think I just chump block. I don't think I Chord. I think I just wait. What do I get here? For 2? I get a Patra, okay. They do have a Binding, though. Because, yeah, we're both, like, super low on resources. We're basically both just top decking. So, I have to leave and see family. Just want to congrats you again. Hey, Alex, hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Lumberjacks. I hope you have a good time with on New Year's Eve with your family. So, I think what I identified in this game is that I wasn't attacking. Like, I should have been attacking because we both were just, like, drawing nothing here. But, like, in this position, it's, like, a bad attack, right? So, we basically just top deck for like turns back and forth. I find a mortuary that's just another wall on top, the 4th one. And then they draw a ley line, which is fine. And then I draw another mortuary, another land on top, and I'm just like, oh come on, dude, just give me something. But they also draw a land. I'm playing this tomorrow in Team Trios event in the Modern seat. Oh hell yeah, dude, nice, crush it. So I think here, and I think I end step the Bowmasters, or maybe I hold on to it. Yeah, I do hold on to it. So I think this is where I messed up. I should have just flashed it in an end step here and started attacking. I draw into a Grist. I also mess up here. I think I should have just down ticked because they just didn't have anything. And I assume if they haven't been doing anything, they have 3 cards in hand, that they have a reactive spell. So I should assume my Grist isn't going to live here and just down tick and start swinging in. That's what cost me this game 1. I ended up losing game 1 because of this. Hey, yo, big floppy. Hey, hello, hello. You'll see what I mean by that, by losing game one. So it's like back and forth. I start swinging now, but at this point it's too late because they're going. I believe they draw Kavu into Scion, and they live at 1 HP. Whereas if I was just attacking a turn sooner, it would have been fine. Yeah, they go. I go to 3. They play Kavu, and then they draw Scion next turn, and I die. Unless your list had for the super had no innkeeper, not a fan. No, I prefer having the 4th wall over the first innkeeper, just to like maximize the potential of getting a ballista kill. So that's how that game went. And I'm like, oh come on! Like, if I just noticed that I should be attacking a turn earlier, if I just downticked on the grist, I would have gotten game 1 there, but I did not. So we go to game 2. Let's see. I keep this hand because it has a fast Yawgmoth. It has a rumble to help us find even more action. So I decided to keep it. They also keep 7. No Guild Pact, by the way, which is very nice. They do have a push here, or a bolt for the halfling. But we draw another one, and we do hit a rumble, or we have a rumble, and we hit Cauldron, Beseju, Wall, Yawgmoth, which is actually really good. I think I take the Yawgmoth and decide to just pass. I could have taken anything there, to be honest. I think anything was a fine take. I think I was a little against getting the Soul Cauldron because of Leyline Binding, though, because it's really bad if you put all your eggs in one basket with the Leyline Binding and or with the Cauldron, they just push it. We do draw the Walking Ballista. So we do have an out with, we do have a combo with the Shifting Woodlands here, if we ever want to go for it. Congrats on a super qualifier. Amazing one. Hey, thank you so much. We're going over the recap right now. We're doing the games that I didn't show on stream. They swing for 5. I decide to just block because in this matchup, you have to think of Zoo as an aggro deck because they're just trying to kill you as fast as possible. So I don't like, even though this exposes my Yawgmoth to getting killed, I don't want to just take 5 for free. So then this happens, and I'm like, okay. And I draw Blood Artist. So this actually gives me a window to win, but I need to. I do need to draw into something. Also, I just have Yawgmoth in my hand too, right? So this is actually pretty good. So I think I just draw a couple cards. I don't know if I just incidentally get the combo. Yeah, I do get the combo, but I'm a mana off. So I just do this to draw. I just want to draw up to 7. Unfortunately, I could not leave up colored mana to throw up a Fatal Push or a Beseju, but I think this was fine enough. They crash out, and I actually just throw my Yawg here in front of that. They bolt my Yawg, which is fine. Do I play physically? I do. Happy New Year from the side of the world. Hey, Happy New Year too as well. I'm at 6, so I don't die to a Tribal Flames, which is what I was playing around. They do play a Hearse, though, which makes it awkward to kill. But I think I just win here. What do I do? What do I do here? I play the wall. I think my plan is to Beseju. Oops, I accidentally clicked the oh god. See, this is what happens when you click the button on accident. Ah, no. Okay, so what happened was I had double Fatal Push, so I just Beseju'd the Scion and then push on their 2 creatures. They end step activated the Hearse, getting rid of my Yawgmoth and my Halfling, and I think this gives me the window to get the kill. Because I just activate, wait, let me see here. I'm pretty sure I just turned my Woodland into, what do I do? What am I doing? I'm destroying the Scion, okay. I think I'm just being overly cautious here for no reason. Beat. Hey, Scopy, hello. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. When I watch the replay, sometimes I'm like, why did I do that? I think I was just being like, super safe here because they had no cards in hand. They only had a Hearse, and I just had them dead on board without the combo, just with Blood Artist pings. So I think that's the line that I took instead of just trying to work around their Hearse and go for a combo. I just like removal. They draw into a Flage, which is scary, but not the end of the world because I think they kill my Yawgmoth instead of my Blood Artist, which costs them the game here. Because we swing for 3, or we swing for 2, and then we play Ballista and kill them. I hate watching myself play because I always criticize, but that's good. That's how you improve. Yeah, they go to 4, and then we just play Joaquin Ballista and kill them. There we go. Cool. So now we have to settle it in game 3. They're going to be on the play, but we get a little lucky. They mull a 5, but we take those. So they mull a 5, and they don't have a play on turn 1, which is nice. My hand is pretty cracked. I kept 7, even though it only has it has 3 lands. I think it was fine. I was using the Boseiju as a spell, just in case they had a Scion or a Leyline. Play Yawgmoth here, holding up Fatal Push. They fetch. I think they're going to play a Fillage here, which is totally fine, because we're just going to eat it with the Cauldron. We can still hold up Fatal Push as well. 5 color having bad hands, you say, yeah, weird how that happens. Happy New Year from Bulgaria, and Happy New Year to you as well. And then they play a Kavu. They have 2 cards in hand. I have a Fatal Push. They could have they could have had the counter, but I just decided to go for it anyways, because I can't really play around it unless I shrink it with Yawg. I go for a chord here. I hit a capital G rest. I just start plussing, and I think the game's over after that. And yeah, yes sir. I rumble so good, baby. I put the grist in the graveyard. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so that's how I got that game. Little lucky on our part, but that's the game we play. Now, round number 2, I believe, is Storm. Let me see. I think it's Storm. I think Storm was either game 2 or game 3. Yeah, it is Storm. Okay, so this is Storm, so I'm like, oh god. So the hand we kept was not very good, though we can get the combo if I'm lucky enough, if I find a Cauldron and a Yawgmoth. Or I can court for a Yawgmoth, but if I find a Cauldron, we can maybe kill them before they kill us. Or I was trying to find a Cauldron or an Endurance, but I think they go off here. Or no, I think they just play 3 exile spells, and I think they passed in Flames, but they don't have a payoff. But I think they just win here. Yeah, they find the Wish, and I just die. So I mean there's that. That's how game 1 goes against that deck. So I'm like, Storm. So we're gonna be on the play in game 2, which is much better. I keep this hand because the reason why I keep this hand is because we have ramp technically with Green Sun Zenith. We have Liberator for a Ruby, and we have Fatal Push for a Ral. So I feel like this hand is good enough to keep. I just go for a Green Sun right off the bat to ramp us. They play a land pass. I go to our turn, play the Wall of Roots, and I decide to play the Liberator here as well, even though I'm playing the Liberator here, I'm like forcing them to. I'm just basically saying, hey, you can play a Ruby if you want, but I'm going to destroy it, right? So I feel like being mana efficient this turn is better than like trying to hide the Liberator. They play a Ral, which is totally fine because I'm just going to kill it on my turn. I draw into another chord, which is very epic. I decide not to attack here because I want to use a chord to try and combo them next turn. You remember your sideboard choice of these games? That's the most interesting. What you brought in, what took out to see during. Oh, yeah, that's not recorded. I could try. Yeah, I could try to tell you what I take out and put in. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, I can try to give you. Let me explain this game, and then I'll try to remember what I took out and what I put in. Oh, do I have a sideboard? Oh, I can view it here, Lamau. Hey, okay, the replay system's actually not that bad. So oh wait. Oh yeah, no, this is So this is updated. So I took out 1 Yawg, 1 Wall, and 3 Grist, and a Patra and a Cauldron. And then I put in. What does that mean? I can't view it right now. That means I put in like Jailer, all the Endurances, 2 Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay. I think that's what I put in. And the Liberator. Oh, I could have seen right there when I searched, but oh well. I just get Jailer here because they don't do anything at end step. And then I get a Yawgmoth, and then I just pass the turn here. Glad to see you do recaps that you always stream the end. Yeah, well, so the reason why I don't like streaming... Okay, so here we can see. Did I miss anything? I think I hit everything. Yeah. So basically what I said was what's in, what's out. The reason why I don't like streaming big challenges or these big tournaments is because if I go 0-2, I want to KMS myself. I feel so bad when I go 0-2. So that's why I was like just doing it for fun, but I ended up doing really well. And once I was locked for top 8, I'm like, okay, I'll turn on the stream. So they go for a static prison here, and I let it resolve because I just have Liberator anyways. So if they ever try to go for anything in the graveyard or exile, I just activate. Though I do miss the Faithless Looting. I do forget that was in there. But I think I'm still fine. They go for a Manamorphose, and here, while they have no mana, I didn't want to kill their Ral until they had no mana floating, so they couldn't respond. Because they can respond by trying to flip if you try to interact too early. So that's why I wanted to make sure the Ral was dead first, and then kill it. And then they have nothing else to do, and then I can just go to my turn. I don't need to kill the Static Prison yet, because there's no reason for me to. I just crash out in here for 6. And at this point, we're pretty Gucci. There's nothing really that they can do. They go for Ritual. I just eat the Past in Flames. They have another Static Prison trying to eat my Yawgmoth, which is fine, because it doesn't even matter. They're at lethal anyways. So, yeah, they're at 4. I just swing out here and kill them. Frick that Ral. I hate Ral. All my homies hate Ral. So here we just crash in for 5 and get them with the W here. And now comes the hard part, game 3. I actually ended up winning. I don't remember how, but we're going to find out together. So let's see. Oops. So my previous hand was okay, but it had no sideboard interact. It had no endurances. It had just it was like a very fine hand for like any other matchup, but not against Storm. But then I mull to 6, I find this, I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'll just put back the Blood Artist, and I'll keep this off the strength of the... Hopefully, Jailer, you gotta take me there. Basically, is what I was saying. So I find a Cauldron, which actually is pretty helpful as well. Keeping their graveyard in check. They do play a Ral, which is unfortunate. I go to my turn, I find a Green Sun, which is interesting. I decide to play the Rumble first to see if I get any hits off of... to see if I get anything to Cauldron, and I do get a Liberator, and I hit an Endurance. So I think I just add the Endurance here to my hand, and I let everything else go to the graveyard. Yeah, and then I think I play... Yeah, I decide to play the Jailer first in case they have like a bunch of exile spells, and then it ends up working in my favor because they end up not doing anything here, which means that they have no answer for Jailer, and they have a bunch of like what is it? They have a bunch of impulse effects. We draw into another Endurance, which is excellent. I decide to just play the Cauldron, I believe. Yeah. They fetch here. They get a Parlor. They Surveil. They play Ruby, which is fine because we have a Liberator in the graveyard to answer that. I exile the Liberator right now. Put it on the Halfling. I think we're actually pretty good here. I draw a Bowmaster, which is great. I swing for 2, trying to get them to block. They don't. And then on their upkeep, I flash in Bowmasters to take out their Medallion. And they go to their turn. What do they do here? Oh, so this is funny. So they actually threw. So they threw because they Shatter Skull. They drew a Shatter Skull Smashing to try to take out my Jailer, but they did it for 4, and my Jailer has 4 toughness. I'm just like, okay. I'm just gonna activate Cauldron and save my Jailer, which is what I do. And there we go. So that was funny. I crash in for 2, and at this point, I'm pretty sure the game's just locked up. They don't have anything, so I just flash in Endurance and start beating down here. And then we have the win with Walking Ballista the next turn. I can pitch cast Endurance if I need to, but I'm not scared. They are forced to Faithless Looting here, and I just ping the Ral. I missed that I had Lethal. I could have just pinged them with the Bowmaster and Exile Walking Ballista, but yeah, there we go. Yes, sir. Very nice. Next game, this one was also 3 games. I don't remember what it was against, but we're going to find out. First hand I did not keep because it was like tap green source, swamp, and then everything else was like 3 mana. Keep this. I decided to be risky and keep this because I'm on the draw. We're against Oculus. So I think if we draw to another land here against Oculus, it's great. We do technically draw a land. That's not the one we wanted to draw. Can I explain some of the lines with Ballista? Yeah. I'll explain it after this match. I'll explain it in between game 1 and game 2. So they push our Halfling, which is not very good. They Thought Scour themselves. They do mill us like a crazy frog. But I had the land the whole time. I was calm, cool, and collected because the land was there the whole time. So I could just jam the Soul Cauldron, but if they have a force, it's pretty bad. But I think I have to go for it anyways. So I think I just play the Cauldron here. Yeah, they don't have the thing, and I could activate. So we have to play around 2 things here, right? It's either I have to play around Unearth, or I have to play around Oculus. I can't play around. I can't play around a Murktide because they already have enough to play it anyways, even if I exile 1 card. But I decide to not exile anything on my turn because I am worried more about Unearth than a Oculus. But I choose to play around Unearth instead of Oculus, basically, is what I do here. So they go to their turn. They Thoughtseize me to start off. And I'm like, okay, that's good. That I don't have to worry about Unearth or Oculus. They take the cord. They shock in this. I thought they were going to hold up Counterspell, but they actually have a Murktide. And I'm like, ugh. That's not good. They exile the frog as well, which is good on them because I was not able to eat the frog in time. I draw a Halfling, and I'm like, well, this hand is not good anymore because they just took our cord. I just decided to play out my entire hand. They exile the Halfling, or they Thoughtseize the Halfling, which is fine because I can just exile it with the Cauldron. They swing at us for 6, and at this point, I am just putting, so if you notice, I just activate Wall of Roots here for no reason. The reason why I activate Wall of Roots here is I'm trying to get it into the graveyard for, just in case I draw Ballista. So if next turn I draw Ballista or I draw Rumble and I hit a Ballista, I need to get the Wall of Roots into the graveyard before they kill me so I can combo them with Yawgmoth, which is why I start minusing here at end step. I do draw into another Wall of Roots, which is not what we want to see. I decide just to attack because I can't block anyways. They go us here, but that I'm pretty sure we needed to draw Ballista that turn because now I can't win unless I draw like an Endurance here. I put a counter there. I think I draw Endurance actually. I draw a Green Sun, so I'm like, okay, we're not dead because I can go Green Sun for a so I could Green Sun for an Endurance. Oh no, actually no, I Green Sun for Grist because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna Green Sun for Grist here. Then I'm gonna kill the Frog, and I'm gonna kill the Frog because I can then block the Murktide Regent, with the ability from Frog. That's what I do. However, it does not matter. I attack with the Dried Arbor here. I exile it on my Wall of Roots. And then they go to their turn, and I think they just have the Fatal Push. Yeah, I try to give my wall flying to block, and then they just have the Fatal Push. I'm going to pull up my graveyard over here, actually, so it stops bumping up. Jump wall. Yep, that's what I did, but they had the Fatal Push. And there's nothing I couldn't have, like, it didn't matter if I held back Dried Arbor or anything, or if I put the counter on Yawgmoth, because it just dies regardless. And, I don't have enough cards in my graveyard to double jump. So me holding back the Dried Arbor didn't matter. So they just push here and then I'm just dead. So some of the lines with so the main line with Ballista is you have Yawgmoth, Wall of Roots, Yawgmoth, Wall of Roots, and Walking Ballista and Cauldron. If you have the Walking Ballista in the wall under a Cauldron and a Yawgmoth in play, what you do is you put the counter on the Yawgmoth. You put a -0/-1 counter on the Yawgmoth, and then you remove to add a green mana with the wall ability. And then you use the Ballista's ability to remove the +1/+1 counter and ping something. That state-based actions are checked. and the game sees Yawgmoth dying without a counter on it because you remove the counter as a cost to the Ballista ability. So that way Undying triggers, and you basically make infinite mana, infinite damage with a Yawgmoth and Wall and Ballista. So that's the most common line. And then another line you can do is if you just have a Ballista, you could have just a Ballista under a Cauldron with Wolf and a Blood Artist, and you just ping the you have the Yawgmoth ping itself, which I think I win one of the games in here with by doing that. So this is game 2. I think I keep this hand, even though it's kind of mid. Like, I don't like having Blood Artist in my hand, but I think I keep this. Yeah. Decided to just play Halfling, just keep on the strength of the Fatal Push and Endurance, basically. They don't have a removal spell, which is nice. You can gain infinite life and Keeper as well. You can. But I prefer to just win the game instead of gaining infinite life. Let me change the album because this is looping. Oh, I think they kept the one lander. Yeah, they kept. Oh no, they didn't. Never mind. They play a. Oh no, they don't. They consider and they draw a card. I think they have an Unearth. They were trying to do something. I flash in Bowmaster here. They have another Consider. And then I think I'm just... Oh, and I draw... Cauldron off the Tizzy top, baby. Yes, sir. I decide to just play Cauldron here. Do I? Oh, no. I go for Endurance. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I just do Endurance here main phase to play around a counter, I guess. Though I could have just played Cauldron there, too, I think. I guess I was playing Endurance to play around a Murktide or to play around Thoughtseize on my Endurance. Why did I wait on Bowie? Because they could have had Stern Scolding with the 1 mana. But they just apparently didn't. I went 3 Green Sun, yes. I just play the Cauldron here, and I think the game is just locked up after this. Yeah, they cycle Unearth, they're just trying to find something at this point, and they don't have anything. Very nice. Game 3. Went on the first Scour when they were tapped to avoid Scalding and Snare. On your end. Was it on my turn? I think if it was on my turn, I think I just don't do it there because I want to hold it up on their turn to make them use mana on their turn. That's the only thing I can think of. I think I keep this hand, even though I have no black mana. I think I keep this hand. Yeah, a little bit risky, but I think I just like having the Fatal Push. Unfortunately, they Thoughtseize me, but I think I rip really hot here. No, I don't. I rip hot the next turn, I think. So I'm like, ah, shit. So they take that, they mill themselves, they play a Darkslick Shores. I'm like, oh god, all right, here we go. And then I think I draw Rumble. Yeah, I draw Rumble. I'm like, oh, okay. Hold the phones. So it does resolve. I hit a Black Source. I'm like, okay, we're back in action. Happy New Year. Meet, thanks for streams 24. Hey, thank you for being here, Bruno. Well, they would have used mana to deal with them anyway, but can't avoid them landing, but just a random thought. Well, they would have had to use mana to deal with them anyway, they can't avoid landing. Yeah, that's true, but I think I had a Fatal Push in my hand too, right? So I think I wanted to just hold up the option of playing Bowmasters or Fatal Pushing a Frog on their turn. They go for a Murktide Regent. So this is interesting. They were tanking for a long time on this turn, and then they ended up going for a Murktide Regent, even though they know we have a Grist in hand. And I think that's just because they had no other play to make, no other better play to make. So they decided to go for a Murktide, and I think they're just making me answer it with the Grist. That's the only thing I could think of. I rip another Fatal Push, so we are 100% covered on the Frog and Eyeball standpoint. And then I just, because Rumble's goated, because we have a body in play, by the way. Without Rumble, we wouldn't have been able to do this. We just down tick, take out the Murktide, and then at this point, I think we're just Gucci. We have answers to everything that they have. Like, I'm not worried about this Frog at all, because they know we have one Fatal Push, I think. So I decided to go for a Fatal Push first instead of going for a Abrupt Decay. Our hand is so sick here. Yes, sir. And they don't. I think they accidentally attack. I think they accidentally either went through their turn here without attacking. They go for a counterspell on my push, which they know I have, but they did not know that I had another one. I decided to just flash in a Bowmaster here because I feel really safe. Also, then we just rip cord, and I think the game's just over at this point. I'm just chilling. There's no reason for me to attack, no reason for me to do anything. They tap out here, and I decide to go for a cord because they just tapped out of counterspell mana. I go for a cord for 4, play Yawgmoth, pass the turn. It does open myself up to a Fatal Push, but they don't have it, and the game is over. Yes, sir. Even if they Fatal Push there, I don't care because I draw 5 cards and I Fatal Push their frog. So, yes, sir. Very good, very good. Oh, I'll try to go over sideboarding. Sorry. I guess for that match, I can just look at it right now. Yeah, let me quickly go back to this game. So in terms of sideboarding, I just brought in all the Fatal Pushes. I brought in all the Fatal Pushes, the Abrupt Decay, so it's 4 cards, and then the 2 Endurances. That's 6. I think it's all that I brought in, right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I bring in 3 pushes, 1 Abrupt Decay, 2 Endurances. I took out Hapatra, 2 Green Sun, a Rumble, a Wall of Roots, and a Cord. The reason why I take out the Cord and the Green Sun and the Rumble is because Cord is very good against Dimir, but we're bringing in what, 4? We're bringing in 4 instants that we don't really want to be milling with Rumble, so I take 1 Rumble out, and then I just, like, with Green Sun, it's sorcery speed, even though it shuffles back into the deck. Not really good against the counterspell deck. And then Cord, just because I'd rather have anything else. And then Wall of Roots is really weak to Fatal Push, so just take it out. Also because we're cutting on 1 Chord of Calling. Alright, round 4 here. Once again, I don't remember. I think this is the first energy deck of the day. Out of the 5 that I play. Maybe not. We'll see. I think I keep this hand. I'm on the draw. And this hand's pretty slow. But I think I convinced myself into keeping this hand. So it is energy, but they also kept a slow hand, which is good for us. I draw Forest, which is nice for our Shifting Woodlands. They also don't play anything. Oh, I think this is Mardu. So they don't play anything, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is what I love to see. When I'm playing against energy, they go land pass, land pass. Oh, thank you. I think I opt to just hold up Bowmasters here. Yeah. I decided to just hold up Bowmasters. Oh, it's just Boros. Okay. They have a Felia, which is a little scary, but I think I'm able to kill it with Bowmaster. Yeah, I flash it in. I do ping the Felia, and I just force them to basically trade. Blood Moon sucks a little bit, but it's not the end of the world because we do have the basic. And we do have a Cord. So, but I just need to hit, like, green cards. I think I just play Wolf Cauldron here. Energy that starts on Surveillance and Blessing. I know, it's so nice. Play Cauldron, play Young Wolf, just to keep their graveyard in check. They play a Pyromancer, which is unfortunate with the Bowmaster being gone. I just try to keep their graveyard in check here. We do draw into a Wall of Roots, which is really nice. Though they have a Static Prison for the wall. I think I end up courting for Ballista here. Because I can, like, I can basically infinitely block. So, oh! Demonic Tutors! 117 people! Oh! Hello. Demonic, thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you had a good stream. Hope you're doing well. I'm just going over my Super Qualifier run from yesterday. So I played like 8 of the games off stream because I don't like streaming big challenges, really. But I did well. So I ended up streaming the end of it. But I'm going over the first couple of games here. Hello, Raiders. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good New Year's Eve. I know I am. So I go get a Ballista with Court of Calling. And then I decided to just eat it here. And they go for a Galvanic on my Wolf, which I'm like, that's fine. But they end up having another Galvanic, which is very sad. So at this point, I'm like, that's not very good. And what do I draw? Okay, Moto's freezing. 1 second. I have to watch from the beginning then because I want to see how this played out. Oh yeah, I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube, so feel free to check it out there. Or you can watch the VOD, whatever you prefer. Okay, something's happening to the replay. Oh, Kemperleaf 95. Hey, thanks for follow. I appreciate you. Okay, did the replay just bug out or what? Okay. Oh, what's going on? Oh, oh. Okay, there we go. So I drew nothing. Just past turn. I don't concede just yet though because they only have 2 cards in hand as well. And I'm like but they do draw Guide of Souls, so I'm like, okay, well, that's not good. I just keep their graveyard and check more. I draw into a halfling, which is all right. Okay, what's going on with the replay here, man? It's like freezing. I play it out. I eat their Ocelot Pride at upkeep. But they had a main deck Thraben Charm. But they don't put any counters on it though. I do a Rumble. I don't hit anything, unfortunately. But I try to like get some more mana here. Dude, the replay system is being so bad right now. All right, I'll try to. I guess I have to hit this button on the far right, which just skips really fast. So I'll try to cover it. They find a Flage. I'm pretty sure I just die here. I don't even know what I just did. Oh, I took out their things with my. I put a counter on my thing. It took out their things with Walking Ballista. Dude, why is it freezing? I draw to a cord. I take away their. Oh yeah, and I got the win. Okay. I draw into a cord and I'm able to get the win with the Cauldron, the Ballista combo. Sorry about the lag here, but the replay system kind of bugs out. So basically, what happened? I'll try to go back and see what I can't go back on the replay. What happened is I drew a cord for turn, or they drew a Flage. They were going to attack me for lethal. What I did to stop it was I had a Scion in play with a counter, and I had Ballista ability, so I activated to activate Ballista's ability, and I killed the thing that they were putting the counters on. And then I blocked and survived at 4, and then untapped, drew into the corded for Yawgmoth, got the W. Prison wall was so greedy. Yeah, I mean, in the moment, it made sense to prison my wall because it was cutting me off of green mana. But yeah, in the long run, it's very bad. when you can't kill me quickly enough, I will just draw out of it, especially after the Rumble. So that was nice. Game 2, hopefully the replay is back to normal. Sideboard, I just brought in I believe I brought in. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I brought in 3 Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay, Endurance, and then 2 Forces. So I actually think Force is very good now against Energy because they actually have a lot of artifact and enchantment hate for our deck with like Static Prison, Blood Moon. Sometimes they play like artifact hate out of the sideboard. Goblin Bombardment is a huge one that we need to answer Bombardment or we will just lose. So I bring in 2 Force now against Energy, which has been pretty good. Hopefully I can showcase that here. All right, hopefully the replay system's working. Okay, yeah, it looks like it does. So I have to mold a 5 here because my first hand was 1 land and my second hand was like 5 land or something. So I keep here. I'm like, all right. I think this game is over pretty fast because I think they just steamroll me. They play Ocelot Pride turn 1, which is unfortunate. I have no responses to that. They play a Johnny. I'm like, okay, that's not very good. I have a Fatal Push. I decided to just Abrupt Decay so I can be mana efficient here. They leave in a Ragavan, which fine. Draw Young Wolf after they hit me with the Ragavan. They have a Ghost Vacuum as well, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I think they are able to get off the ground too fast, and I don't have enough resources to keep up with them because I had to mull to 5. They eat my Young Wolf. They have another Ghost Vacuum. They play a Seasoned Pyro, which is they play a Seasoned Pyro into a Bowmaster, which I guess sure. They do tap out here, which gives me a window to maybe find action, but I just don't find anything with the Rumble. And they hit a Flage, and then I try to find something here, but then I think I just die. I block there, try to stay alive. And the replay system is bugging out. I do draw a Yawgmoth, but I believe it's too little too late. They have a static prison, and then I have to do this, and then I just did. In game 3, let's not mull to 5 here. We're going to be on the play. And I decided to keep this because we have Boseiju for any artifact or enchantment. We have Halfling, Double Fatal Push, Bowmaster. This is the hand I like to see versus energy. I decided to just lead on the Halfling. I don't remember if they don't kill the Halfling, which is very nice. I decide not to attack so I can leave up Bowmasters plus Surveil. They do have a Static Prison, which is fine. I don't really care. And then they play a tap land, which is excellent. I go Surveil. I forget. There's a Rumble on top, so I just keep that on top. I attack in. I can't remember if I play the Boseiju here. I think I might. Yeah, I played Boseiju so I can hold up Fatal Push. I go for a Rumble in the jungle. I don't find anything. I think I just get the Woodland. Yeah, I just add the Woodland to hand, pass the turn. Holding up Fatal Push. They play Guide of Souls, which is fine. They play a Johnny, I think? Yeah, and then I just push the Guide of Souls before a Johnny hits the battlefield. And I think I rip a Yawg here. No, I do not. I just play... I attack with the Orc Army token because I have a Fatal Push in hand. They play another Guide of Souls and an Ocelot Pride. I decide to hit the Guide of Souls, which maybe is a mistake, but Guide of Souls enables the Ocelot Pride. So I was like worried about that. They play Arena of Glory. What was my overall record at this point? At this point, I was 3-0. And then this was game number 4. And then I go to my turn. And I think at this point, I'm like, please, just give me a Yawgmoth, please. I think that's what I was saying off stream. I'm like, please, deck, Yawgmoth, I know you're in there. I think that's what I said out loud to myself, and I think he showed up. If the replay system wants to cooperate. No, he did not. Okay, so I do play the Verdant. I have one more Surveil. I'm just like, oh my god. I'm just like, please don't rip anything. I get my Halfling back. They play land. They pass. Like, oh, thank god. I get a Surveil here. And let me see what's on top. I don't think there's a Yawg on top. I don't think there's anything on top. Either I find something on top or I don't. I don't remember. Surveil. Yeah, I get Dried Arbor. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, please give me something here. Oh. Oh. And there he is. And I knew the game was over after that. So I just play Yawgmoth and the game is over, I think. If the replay system wants to cooperate. I knew he was coming the whole time. I knew he was on the way. Just wipe their board here, trying to also find combo. I do find a Green Sun to find another Young Wolf. Play that. I think I just hold up Endurance plus Boseiju here. Yeah, I mean, the game is over. I don't really need to activate anything. They try to Galvanic. Oh, they Galvanic my thing. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. They go for a Static Prison. That's fine. I don't care. I have a Boseiju, and the game is over. I go Zenith for Young Wolf, and I get Blood Artist with the Cord. So, very nice. And then game 3. Wait, what's that game 3? That might have been game 3. That was game 3. Okay, so that was game 3. Yeah, that's why I was praying so hard for Yawgmoth. I'm like, please give me a Yawg. Oh, and then that was over after that. Love to see Yawg dropped on Energy Jack. Yes, sir. I played against Energy 5 times, and I only lost to it when it mattered the most. I lost to it in the semifinals, but still fine. All right, game number 5, round 5. I think this might be. Oh no, I won this one, right? Go burn. Yeah, 2-1. I forget what this one is against. Might be another Energy deck. We'll find out together. I decided to keep this hand on the blind. I think this is Eldrazi? Yeah, it's Eldrazi. So I'm like, don't really like this deck. Or don't really like this hand against Eldrazi. We have a really stacked hand if we find a Yawgmoth or a Cord. So I was just hoping to find one or the other. Fine, I just play the Wall and the Yawgmoth here and try to use the Misty Rainforest to Surveil. They use a Rumble. They find a Eldrazi Temple. I think they just play a K command here, exiling my Yawgmoth. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, this is not good. I find another halfling, put that in the graveyard. Do I play a lot of Yawg? I've been playing Yawg for 3 years. Yes, I do play. I would say I do. I've been playing for... we do draw Yawg. I accidentally hit the wrong button, so we're going to go a little fast here. I decided not to play Yawg here. Could I not play Yawg there? I don't remember why I don't. Oh, it's because I wanted to Boseiju them. I wanted to Boseiju and also have... Oh, because... Okay. So the reason why I did this is because I figured they might have had the big Emrakul, and they had enough to cast it. So I wanted to Boseiju their Eldrazi Temple on their turn, and then flash an Endurance to cut them off of the mana they needed and Delirium they needed for Emrakul. So that's why I made this play instead of playing Yawgmoth. And then they're going to play... I believe they play a Devourer. No, they play a World Breaker. No, they play this thing. Never mind. They play Myco Spawn, get rid of my land. They play, what is it, a World Breaker? Oh, Devour. So they play Devour. So now I can't play Yawgmoth. I'm like, but they only have 1 card in hand. I do draw the land, which is good because I have Yawg. So it's like, the game's not over, but, what do they do? They have another Myco Spawn here, I think. No, they have a World Breaker, which gets rid of my land, which is fine. And then I just block here. Take the 6. I play Blood Artist. I try to draw into something. We do draw into a Zenith, which I'm 1 mana short of getting Hapatra here, so I decided to get a Yawgmoth instead. And then I just try to draw some cards here. I draw a land, which I can't play. And they have no cards in hand, so I'm just hoping... I'm like, please just miss for like 1 turn, basically, is what I'm saying. They attack with the 5/7. I just chump block with the Yawgmoth and then reset it. So I reset it here, but I forget to draw because I accidentally click through it, which ends up being okay. I draw a Ballista. I end up getting a Dried Arbor to reset the Yawgmoth. Draw a Wall of Roots. I draw into another Zenith, and then I'm able to get the W. Very nice. So game 2, we did not get this one. Oh, too easy for Johnny. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I think I keep this hand. They mulled a 6. I think this hand is okay enough to keep. It doesn't have any acceleration, but it has an endurance to keep their big Emrakul in check. And for sideboarding for this one, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I brought in the 2 Fulminators. What was it? 2 Fulminators, what else? 2 Fulminators, 2 Endurance? Because they're playing the Delirium Emrakul, so I want to keep their graveyard in check. So I brought in 2 Fulminators, 2 Endurance, and then 1 more card. What is it? Is it 1 more card? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 1 more card. 2 Fulminators, 2 Endurance. What is it? It's not Collector Oof. Oh, this is gonna bother me. Okay, I'm sure. Does me play Yawgmoth? Does a poke shit in the woods? I don't know. You tell me. I'll figure it out as we play. We do draw a Fulminator, which is very epic. We do draw a Mortuary, which I decide to play so we can go for a Fulminator Mage next turn, but they are going to have a lot of mana next turn. I think they actually strip mine me here. Oh, no, they don't. Okay. You brought in best waifu? What's the waifu? I don't know. I swing it for 1, and then I go for a Fulminator Mage, but I think I don't activate until their upkeep to play around a Kozilek's command. Outland Liberator. Oh, Outland Liberator. Yes, thank you. And they go for an end step Kozilek's command here instead, so I just activate the Fulminator Mage right away. Go for Ancient Stirrings. They have a whole bunch of mana, which is not good. I go for a Rumble. I get a Blood Artist. I should have. I think I wanted to hold up Endurance here because they have so much mana. They surgical. Oh yeah, they surgical on my Yawgmoth, and I'm forced to Endurance myself here. And I think I just get cooked because they have a second Kozilek's command, which gives back mana for some reason. Okay. I hate this card so much. Yeah, they play Emrakul, but I actually don't concede here. The reason why I don't concede, one, is because they're very down on clock, but also because they actually can't kill me. So there's nothing. The best thing, the like worst thing they can do is play Blood Artist and Bowmaster my Blood Artist and then attack with Endurance. But it's also very possible for them to just completely misplay and like play Yawgmoth for some reason. Because if they play Yawgmoth here and like sack my board, that's fine. You just drew me like 3 cards or 2 cards, and you put Yawgmoth into play. So I was actually hoping for them to play Yawgmoth, but they correctly don't. They trolled me a couple times. I think they really wanted to slam the Yawgmoth, but then they realized it wasn't correct because they were like floating mana back and forth, and then they decided they Green Sun fail to find, and then have the Bowmaster ping itself, and then they attack with Endurance, which is pretty bad for us. I draw to a land. I play Blood Artist and the Halfling to try to get set up for next turn. But then they play Devour of Destiny, exile the Blood Artist. And I'm like, okay, well. I think we're pretty cooked after that, yeah. Draw Fulminator Mage, but yeah. Trying to see if I could draw into anything. I don't think I could, but I was just drawing cards to draw cards. So they get us there off of the Big Emrakul. Big Emrakul is scary. That's why I bring in all the Endurances. The showcase version of Outland Liberator is beautiful waifu. True. That's the one I have. Actually, no, I have the what is that one called from? I have the one from the terrible draft set that no one liked. The double feature, the black and white one. I have that in foil. Yes, sir. Black and white set, yeah. So I keep this hand is technically slow because we have only like tap lands. But I mean we have the combo, so I decided to keep on the strength of the combo. I have a land on top, so I decided to keep that there. They go for Sprawl, which is not able to be hit. I play Blue Marsh, I just play out Yawgmoth plus Wall and pass turn. They play a Talisman, they play a Ghost Vacuum, which is actually pretty bad. They mill over, because it just this counters what we're trying to do. So instead, I don't think I play out the Fulminator Mage here, because I don't want them to exile it. So at this point, I'm just like, trying to keep their graveyard in check. They exile their own thing with, they exile their own Emrakul under the Ghost Vacuum, which is great for us, because now I can play Fulminator Mage and activate twice. And put Fulminator Mage under the Cauldron. So I'm like, oh, great. So I play the Halfling, I play Funny Mage, and then I just start going to town. They do have a Kozilek's Return, which sucks. But it's not the end of the world. They still get to eat both their lands here. Exile Fulminator Mage. They have Surgical, which is like, oh. So this is actually kind of rough. but we are able to cut them off of mana. Thankfully, they don't have another land. They do have a second Kozilek's Return to get rid of my wolf, but I think at this point I'm okay. I think I just go for a Grist here. Oh no, I get Liberator. Oh, okay, yes, yes. Hey, so Waifu, this is the game where Waifu actually did some work. So my opponent has passed the turn and not played anything, and they missed a land drop. So I could have gotten Grist here. The reason why I get Liberator, though, is because I'm banking on them not playing a spell next turn, and I know I'm not going to play a spell, even if they do. And I can just start going to a town with the attack trigger. So I get the Liberator. They go to their turn. They don't play anything. And now I can start going to work. So we flip the Liberator. And then we can just start getting in there. I think I go for their mana first because I want to just cut them off of even more mana if I can. So I hit the enchantment. They activate the exile, that's fine. They miss another land drop, that's fine. Very good. I try to exile. I'm just exiling their things. I don't care about exiling a creature. I hit their other enchantment. I could have hit the Ghost Vacuum earlier, but I care more about just taking them off of mana than anything else. They do find a Labyrinth, and they get a Myco Spawn, which, all of our hard work just ruined. But this is still fine, because they are getting quite low. And I do decide to just sacrifice my Trap Breaker here. Like, I just decide to trade it with the Myco Spawn, because it gets rid of their Vacuum. Because they were actually they're 1 mana away from getting a Emrakul, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I needed to kill it there. I can't make it bigger. There's no creatures in the graveyard. But I just play out Wall Roots and hope that they can't come back from this. But what do? I think they have another Myco Spawn. Oh, they have a World Breaker. They have a World Breaker. They get rid of my Cauldron, I think. They do, yeah. I just eat their Myco Spawn to shut them off of things in the graveyard to cut them down on Delirium. They have 1 card in hand, and I think I rip Yawgmoth? Maybe not. No, I rip a Bowmaster. So right now, they only have a minute on the clock. That's right. I think I just timed them out. But hey, that's on them. That's not on me. So they rip a Devour of D, which is fine. They try to exile my Young Wolf, but I save it with the Bowman. I also have my Wall of Roots is a 1/6, which is just going to be blocking. We draw the Queen, but I decide not to play her because I don't want to play into a Kozilek's Return too hard. They add a thing back to their hand. Saving them with the giant arrow on its head. True. They have 50 seconds on the clock. I do draw into a Chord of Calling. Very nice. I just decide to main phase it right now and draw a billion cards. I'm pretty sure the game is just over. They try to surgical. They surgical my wolf, which I'm like, okay, like I don't need the wolf. You got it, dude. And then the game's just over at this point. I'm resetting my cards here to try to find a in case I find a Chord. We find a Rumble. We find a Besage. At this point, the game is just over. I'm just drawing cards here. We do find the Chord. I go get Blood Arson. GG. Didn't even need to time him out. Didn't even do. But we had the safety of the timeout if I needed to, but did not need to time them out. Beat him in 2. Oh, hit him with the whack. Yes, sir. All right, round number 6. I believe this is energy back to back, and I beat them in 2 both times. So I think I'm on the play here. I decide to keep this. Now this hand looks a little weird. I decide to keep it because we have a Surveil land, so I can Surveil to try to find a 3rd land, and we do have a Cauldron, which helps out a little bit. And then if we draw into a 3rd land, we can play Grist and start getting value. So this hand is close to throwing it back with the double Chord and no acceleration, but I think it's fine. They are playing energy. They lead on another time. I don't remember if this is Mardu or Boros, but they lead on a Surveil land. Oh, thank God. So, very nice. We go to Surveil. We do have the land on top, which I decide to keep. We just play out the Cauldron here. They play these 2, which I was like thinking about playing Ballista or Cauldron first, and I obviously here regret not playing the Ballista first. So I decided, I'm like, I could play Grist here, but it's just going to die, which isn't the worst because I could put it under the Cauldron, but I don't want to put too many of my eggs in one basket. So I decided to just play the Ballista first so I can take out the Ocelot Pride. They go to combat, that's fine. I don't need to activate yet because they haven't gained any life this turn. So I actually don't need to kill the Ocelot Pride if they don't have anything. But here they have another creature. I decide to kill the Pride before it goes to end step. And then I believe I eat at the end step. No, I don't. Okay. I should have eaten the Pride at the end step. I draw into a Halfling, which is good. I think I just play capital G wrist here in the Halfling. And then just pass the turn. No activation. They bolt my Halfling. I still don't activate the Cauldron yet. They play a Pyromancer, which is a little unfortunate, but fine. They gain a billion life, which is also fine. I'm actually set up here. I'm almost set up here for a kill with the Ballista. So I'm kind of chilling. They put the counters on one of the guys. They put the counter on the other guy. So I can't save my Grist here. But they only have 2 cards in hand. I think I do eat something at this point. Yeah, I eat my Grist here. Put the counter on the insect token. They don't have anything. Oh, and I draw the triple cord. And then we're just like so good at this point. Mill over a Halfling. I go for a cord first. What do I cord for? For 1? Oh, I get Yawgmoth. That's. Oh, yeah. So here's also another combo with the Walking Ballista. I cord for Yawgmoth. I put the counter on the Yawgmoth, which they seemingly have something. They seemingly have a bolt because they float a mana, and then they cancel it. And then I put a counter on the Yawgmoth. I just start plussing here, and then resetting my Yawgmoth by pinging itself with the Ballista. And then I do it one more time, and then I go cord for a Blood Artist right here. And then I kill them this way. They do make me click through it, which is totally fine, but yes, sir. Yeah, apparently they didn't have a response because they don't ever kill my Blood Artist, but yes, sir. Ballista is a beast. Ballista's so good. All right. So game number 2 here. Same sideboarding as before, just bring in the pushes, the Abrupt Decay, and the Endurance, and the 2... Wait, I don't think I bring in Abrupt Decay. I think I leave it... No, I do. Yeah. 2 Force, 1 Endurance, 3 Fatal Push, 1 Abrupt Decay. Ballista goes infinite with a hand sandwich. The card is good. The card is good. I keep... This hand has removed... This hand is, like, perfect. This is probably... what I would want to see every single time versus energy. Just have like wall, wolf, cord, and 2 removal spells and 2 lands. Oh, what else could you ask for, right? So this is really good. Snap, keep this. They play a tap land. You love to see it. I draw into a Halfling, which is very epic. They do have a removal spell, which is totally fine. I'm just gonna go wall plus Yawgmoth. I draw into a Force, so I can't actually play because it's a tap land, which is also fine. So I just hold up the Fatal Push here. Which, unfortunately, they don't. Apparently, they don't have any 1-drops, or they must have just drawn the Ocelot Pride for turn. So this is fine. I can't really use the push. I don't draw a land, so I decided to just develop my mana base first before removing anything. They very smartly remove the Wall of Roots. So now I'm actually in a little bit of a squeeze here if I don't draw a land, which I don't believe I do. They do play a Guide of Souls, which sucks. Okay, dude, I knew it was there the whole time. I knew that was there. So that helps us a little bit. No need for me to really kill the Pyromancer, so I don't Abrupt Decay it. I just have the Fatal... I think I just shoot Fatal Push on the Guide of Souls. I was seeing if they would attack into my Wolf, because then I would have blocked and used Bowmasters. They play... Okay. So, I started dying laughing when they played this. Stony Silence. You got it, bro. You got me. You caught me. I won't play Agatha Soul Cauldron. You got it. So they play Stony Silence against me, and I'm like, great. So that's fine. And then end step, I think I just push the souls and I go for a Bowmaster. Yeah. I thought it was damaged by Cauldron. Resolves, yeah. So now I'm just waiting for... Oh. Now I'm just waiting. I draw into Ballista. I decide not to play it, though, because I don't want them to, like... I'm just... the reason why I don't play Ballista here is because I want to have Abrupt Decay up. And if I play the Ballista for 1, I can't have Abrupt Decay up. So I actually passed the turn here. They swing for 2. I decide to block with my Yawgmoth. They go for a Thraben Charm, which is fine. A little bit unfortunate. The reason why I decided to block here is because I was getting a little bit low, and I do have Arena of Glories and a fully stacked graveyard, so I need to respect that. I do draw into a land, though it is a tap land. What is on top of my library? A forest. I think I decided, yeah, I keep the forest on top because if they just don't have anything next turn, I can court for Yawg. So they go to their turn, they attack for 2, that's fine. This time they have a guide, and then I just play the forest and I hold up court for Yawgmoth. And I think we're Gucci Von Louis. So they attack, and then I just go court for Yawgmoth because Yawgmoth has protection from humans, which is very epic. Block there. They go for a prison, which is fine because we have the Abrupt Decay and we have the Force. I decide to take out their Guide of Souls before. All right, I just do it once because I'm like, I don't need to do anything here. I'm chilling. I don't want to sack my Bowmasters because I figure they might have another Pyromancer. I draw into a land and another land. I'm like, okay, not the best, but I can just like hardcast Force and we'll be fine. This was a little scary. They drew a Surveil land and they could have surveilled over a Flage, which would have killed us. But what do you want? I can't do anything against that at this point. So I could have with the trigger on the stack, I could have forced and tried to have drawn 1 card and hit an Endurance to play around a Flage Surveil, but they did not hit it, which is very nice. They should attack for 1, which I'm like, sure. I decided to just hard cast Force. They have no cards in hand, so I just block, and then I think I just go to my turn. Do I get? Oh, Dried Arbor's there too, yeah. And we have a Green Sun Zenith, so we have the Flage covered now, which is what I just go for right away, I believe. Oh, they have the Seasoned Pyromancer, which is totally fine. I decide to just kill the Guide of Souls. I go for Endurance, so to shut them out of a Flage, they draw into the 3rd Guide of Souls, which is also fine, but I'm pretty sure that the game is just over at this point. It's a little scary because I am at 7, so I'm actually not activating Yawg here that much, because you do need to be... you do need to be careful against energy, and you need to be mindful of your life total. They play the 2nd Stony Silence. You got it. And I think I go for the kill here. Yeah, I just go for a Proliferate to take that out, discarding a land. And then I play a Liberator. I crash in for 4. Still being mindful of my life total by not activating. I play Grist. Down tick, get in there. And then after this next turn, they do hit a Flage, which is a little scary, but they are dead right now. Wear Tear better than Stony? True. So we just crash out with everyone here, and then I think I just play Walking Ballista and kill them. So there we go. Got it in 2, very nice. And then round number 7, I think it's the same story. I think I'm against... I think this one is... Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay, so this is Eldrazi. This is my first loss of the run. I was 6-0 at this point. So okay. I was looking on Goldfish to see what my opponent had played previously. Because listen, at this point, okay, listen, challenges are open deck list, okay? I'm sorry. If I'm playing in the big event or I'm playing in this big challenge, it's open deck list. I'm gonna look you up on Goldfish. I'm sorry. That's just how it works. That's just how the game works, okay? So I go on Goldfish, and I look up what my opponent has played previously. In all of their history, it's like Amulet Titan, and then like Storm or something. So the previous hand that I had was fine. Let me actually restart this. Hold on. Also, if I'm streaming, it's going to tell me anyways, right? So I think I see their history that they are a very adamant Amulet Titan player. Because in their like most recent games, they were like the last like 4 times I played Modern, it was like Amulet Titan. So I'm like, okay, this is Titan. This hand is not good against Titan. I have to mull. So I mull this one. And I can't keep this. It's a 1-lander. And I go to 5. And I'm like, okay, I just gotta keep this and pray. I think I put back Bowmaster Cauldron. Or Bowmaster Halfling, yeah. No, Bowmaster Cauldron, yeah. And then they go on Devour of Destiny. And I'm like, oh, that's not Amulet Titan. So first hand probably would have been fine against Eldrazi, but yeah, now I just screwed myself over. They go for that talisman. Drawn to a wall of roots, which actually is pretty decent here. But if they have a red thing, I'm just dead. I play Yawgmoth here, holding up Bowmasters on their turn. I try to draw into a land. I do not draw into a land. They rip Kozilek's Command. I upkeep, go for a Bowmaster, just in case they had another Kozilek's Command, which they did, and they get rid of my Yawgmoth, unfortunately. Which I do have another one, which is fine. They rumble. They find a Devourer of Destiny. I'm not in the best spot, but I'm forced to play Yawg here anyway. I do find the Queen and the Blood Artist, but I'm 1 mana. I'm not able to play both, and they play the Devourer of Destiny. I think I'm just dead. Or I think they play the Emrakul, maybe. But I play Devour, but yeah. Unfortunate. I drew the... one more turn and I would have had the win, but yeah. I try to play it out here to see if I could maybe get lucky. I don't expose my Blood Artist because I know they have a... I think that I know that they have another one, so I don't play Blood Artist here. They play that to get rid of the Queen. That's fine. That's a sacrifice that must be made. They add Emrakul to their hand, so I have, like, 1 turn. I don't think I can hit anything here, though. I can hit, like... If I hit exactly Rumble into Yawgmoth Cauldron... No, even that doesn't work, because I have to... I would have had to have chosen one or the other. So yeah, I just die here. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. You've still got game 2. But if you look at my... If you checked my socials... They can punt their asses off letting you draw the spawns. It still doesn't matter, so it's miserable. Yeah. So if you saw on my social media, on Twitter, on YouTube, I put in parentheses major misclick, and I can show you what I mean. I can show you what I meant by that. So, first hand had no lands. Second hand, I have to this one is okay enough to keep. I just go for a green sun on turn 1. Get a Dryad Arbor. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have a Kozilek's Command, which they do not. Okay, so the wall was a decent draw. My opponent plays a Myco Spawn. They put blue on the Utopia Sprawl, which makes me think they're playing the Null Drifter. I think I have a land on top. I keep it, I think. Or no, I mill it over. Oh, and then I hit a Yawgmoth. So I'm like, oh. So I mean, this is feeling pretty good now. I start to draw some cards to see if I can hit a land drop, which I do. But I cannot Green Sun for another Yawgmoth because I was a mana short. They play Ancient Stirrings, they find a Devourer of Destiny, and they have just enough mana to cast it. Hey, yo, why Metamorph over Ovar? So the reason why I played Metamorph over Ovar... So we were playing... This is something that Yawg players were playing when Creativity was the top deck in the format. Like, before Ring was printed. Creativity was, like, everywhere. And a lot of people were on Orvar. A lot of decks were on Orvar. But I think for our deck... for the Yawgmoth deck specifically, I think it was better for us to be playing Metamorph. For a couple of reasons. One, we can't... Casting Ovar doesn't matter. Right, so we like having Chord available for Orvar. We need to have Orvar in our hand for it to ever do anything, right? And we have a lot more ways to get Metamorph, and we can actually play Metamorph as well via Chord or just by casting it from our hand. So ultimately, I think Metamorph is better than Ovar for that reason. I'm buying up MH3 stuff to update Yawg and paper. Do you think Shifting Woodlands is vital to have access to? I think so. I think you definitely want at least one Shifting Woodland. I will use Delighted Halfling to cast... Oh, Halfling, true. But casting Ovar doesn't do anything. Call me Snarf. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So they have just enough mana to cast Devourer here, which is unfortunate. Because we would have had the win locked up next turn. So Yawgmoth goes by. I think I just draw a couple more cards to see if I can hit another Yawg. But I hit a Rumble. I'm like, okay, maybe we can hit something good here. I go for a Rumble. We do hit another Yawg, but I think I am a mana short of getting I'm a mana short of getting another Yawgmoth, so I decided to just play Grist instead and start plussing. Mill a Cauldron, which I kind of wanted. They attack for 6, which is fine. Or maybe they had another Devour, and that's what I was playing. Yeah. Okay, so I knew they had another Devour, and I played the Grist to play around them exiling Yawgmoth again. And they go for the Yawgmoth. So I'm like, okay. We mill a Court of Calling, which I also could have used. I decide to just develop my board more before playing Yawgmoth. They get a land, they surveil. And then we're at 14. They play a land, and I think what happens here? They play this, which they exile a land, which is fine. They decide not to use the Sanctum of Ugin. They have one card in hand. I mill over Liberator. I decide now to play Yawgmoth because we have enough fodder to work with. I think I start trying to draw into another Young Wolf or something. We do find Endurance, so that's what I was trying to draw into because I figure the last card in their hand is probably an Emrakul. Or no, they have Emrakul right here. Sorry, and I know they're gonna bounce it to hand because they can cast it next turn. So I needed to find an Endurance there, which we do find. I cast on their upkeep. And then now I'm like, okay, I just need to make sure that they don't get to 13 mana, and I need to keep in mind their things. And then they play a freaking Wastegate Battle Mage, dude. I'm like, oh my god, it's giving me a headache. Now they bounce my Yawgmoth again. I'm like, god damn it, they have all these 5/5s in play. I'm like, okay, well now I just need to draw, try to find something. Two Besejus, which don't do anything here, unfortunately, because it's gonna give them it's going to make their thing cost 1 less anyways. So they just swing at me. So I'm forced to take the damage, go to 4, which is actually okay because I do have a win here with Cauldron. So this is where I mess up. And you're going to see what happens. So I have a win here with Cauldron. I also have a win with Grist because I can ultimate and I can do enough damage with Yawgmoth. I think I can do enough damage. But even so, I have a win with Cauldron. So I'm like, taking on my turn about what to do. I'm like, okay, I think I should be fine if I can there's no way that they can cast Emrakul next turn because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So even if they draw a soul land, there's no way that they can cast Emrakul as long as their graveyard is empty. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play Wall. I'm gonna play Yawgmoth, just have a bunch of blockers, and then if we survive next turn, we're good. We have the win. So then they go to attacks. They draw a card, they just go to attacks, and this is where I messed up. So they crash in with everything, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'm gonna just block, but I block the Wastegate Battle Mage with Yawgmoth, which I shouldn't have done, because it now gives them it doesn't give them enough for Emrakul because they're still gonna be too short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because it would have -1 is 11, so they're still gonna be too short. But unless they drew a soul land or a fetch land. But unfortunately, they have a fetch land in their hand, and I don't realize until after blockers. So I go to blockers, I block like this, I hit OK. As soon as I hit OK, I'm like, no. I was like, no, man, I messed up because now if they do have a land, I'm just screwed. So I'm like figuring out. I'm like in this moment, I'm like, oh my god, is there a way for me to make the Wastegate Battle Mage live? And there's not. I can't shriek my Yawgmoth. I can't target my Yawgmoth. I can't grow the Battle Mage. So I'm like, god damn it. Even Besejuing a land here doesn't matter because it gives it's still. If I were to Beseju the Temple, it doesn't matter because it still gives them -1 for the type, and they also go get a basic, so it's effectively doing nothing even if I Beseju. But yeah, I was like, god dang it. So I was like, please don't have a fetch land or a soul land, and they had the fetch land. I'm like, ah. So I had this. We were gonna go to game 3, but yeah, the misclick screwed me over. They just play Emrakul, then I'm just dead because they're just gonna play. They're just gonna activate Yawg 3 times, and I die. Beseju, praise of another basic. So there actually was a window. There actually was something I could have done. I could have drawn a couple more cards to see if I could hit an Endurance, and I could have evoked Endurance in response to the fetch, but. But yeah. But Besejuing would have played around fetch land, right? Or am I counting bad? One, two. Take that out. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, maybe it would have. I think in the moment I was just tilted. I think I did have some more outs there. Maybe Beseju would have saved me there actually. But in the moment I was just tilted. I'm like, no. Damn it. So it would have hit the land for Delirium with the fetch anyway. Yeah. I would have never noticed if I had to explain it now. Yeah. But yeah, so I could have taken it to game 3, and they were actually down on clock. They only had like 7 minutes, so I could have. I think they might have even timed out. But so that was my first loss of the Swiss, and then we go to round 8 here. Yeah, I think this is. I think the next 2 games are energy, maybe, but I won the next 2 games in 2. Next Banshees because looks command. I wish, dude. Card's so strong. So I think we're on the play. This hand is great on the play. It's beautiful. So I'm like, yeah, we're keeping this. Just play out the halfling, pass turn. They play that. Or they get a surveil land, which is totally fine. Turn 1, another surveil land. Got like all these things of all the energy decks have opened out surveil land, which I love, which is great. Play this. They play out Guide of Souls. That's fine. They have a Galvanic, which is also fine. I think I just have a very fast Yawg here. Yeah, I go end step Origami token. I just hold up Court for Yawg here, and the game is over. They go for Johnny. I go Court for Yawgmoth, and yes, sir. I think they just concede. I can't remember, or I don't remember. We find a Cord and a Green Sun, which is very epic. I think I just get the Queen. Oh, and Blood Artist. Yeah, I play Blood Artist. I get the Queen, and the game is over. Very nice. You think you're gonna main phase the thing? I mean, it plays around removal, but I figure like main phasing it. I guess it doesn't matter. Like, if I main phase it, I kind of want them to spend mana on their turn and make, because Cord is an instant, right? So there's no, like, let's think about why we would have main phase it, right? I guess the only reason we would main phase it is to like play around them having a removal spell on their turn for one of our creatures, or like, but they didn't have any energy. No, they did have energy, but like they could have had a removal spell for Yawgmoth, but at that point it still, yeah, I mean, it's like the Cord is an instant speed spell. You get 1 more wall mana, you could draw a wolf. That's true, but I think at that point we're just so far ahead. I have Yawg locked up. There's no, I can Cord for Yawg, and I could maybe hit Young Wolf if I high roll, but I would rather just use the mana on their turn and Cord on their turn, and then go on like untap fully on my turn. I don't. That's just what I prefer. Make them waste the mana on their turn. They tapped out for a Johnny. I'm like, okay, go get Yawgmoth, kill your board. And then we're like, Yawgmoth is safe. Game number 2 here. Bring in the same sideboard that we've been bringing in. This hand has Patra, which I don't really like, but it has a Rumble. We have a Wall. We have a Bowmasters. I do like that, so I decide to keep. We have a Fatal Push on top. They don't play anything turn 1 again, which is very epic. Just keep the Fatal Push on top. They go for Ayani, which I do have to answer before they untap, because they can just remove their own thing to flip a Johnny to play around removal. They play Guide of Souls, and they don't do anything else. Then we go to our turn. What do? I think I just play Wall. Yeah, Pluming Marsh. I think I play Wall, hold up Bowmasters. Yeah, I was hoping for them to maybe get greedy and attack in with the Guide of Souls, which they do. And I try to punish them by flashing a Bowmasters. They Thraben Charm on my Wall. And I could have played around removal here if I just double blocked, but I wanted to keep my Bowmaster alive in case they had a Seasoned Pyromancer. So I decided to just block with the token, and I forced them to use removal on the token if they do have it, which they do have, but that's removal used on a token, which I'm very happy with. So that's fine. And this also makes it so if they do have a Pyromancer, they can't really play it. Go to our turn, we rip another Halfling. Which, this is like okay, but we really need to find something with this Rumble. We go for the Rumble first. We don't find anything, unfortunately. So it's like, and I decided to just play out the Halfling past the turn. I swing with the Bowmaster because I'm not blocking with it. They do play Bombardment, which is scary. And then we go to our turn, Endurance, which is helpful, but not in the best spot. I do play Hapatra as kind of like a bait. Like, I want them to use removal on a Hapatra or sack their board to take care of Hapatra. What do they do here? I think they do have a Pyromancer, and then on the stack they sack the Pyromancer to kill the Bowmaster, which is unfortunate. And then they have a Galvanic as well, so they basically they've used both the cards in their hand, and they Surgical on my Bowmasters, which I could have used Endurance here, but I care more about their graveyard than my Bowmasters at this point. So I'm just like, that's fine. They fly in with the cat, but I just flash in Bowmasters, or I flash in Endurance and just trade with the cat at this point. They draw into another Halfling, which is not very good. They draw into another Pyromancer, which is very bad for us. How did I win this in 2? Oh, they have a Tywakeen, by the way. They discarded this card, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So I draw a Fatal Push, which helps. But we're still not in the... Like, you can see how hard the game is now because they have a Goblin Bombardment. It's just... We're in such a harder position now. But now that they can, like, deal with all of our creatures. So I just hold on to the Fatal Push to react on their turn. They go to combat. I kill the Guide of Souls before they can do anything. I just block with the wall. They have another Guide of Souls. I draw another Fatal Push. Yes, sir. We just rinse and repeat the previous turn. They sack their thing. They sack their Seasoned Pyromancer to try to get Guide of Souls triggers to fly something, but I just respond with another Fatal Push. And then they're kind of... Thankfully, they just like are out of gas at this point. I think I draw Yawg here? Maybe? No, Force. Okay, so I have a Force to deal with their bombardment, which I'm just going to use in response on their turn. And I actually get rewarded for holding on to it here because they play another one, and I'm able to punish them because they played both the bombardments. So I just go for a Force on both of them, which is very nice. So now the game, even though we're not drawing anything, the game is in a much we're in a much better spot now that we don't have to worry about that. Not attacking because I don't really need to. Also, they draw into an Ajani, which is thank God they played out the other bombardment. Holy moly. Pass turn, go to my turn, and we rip the Yawgmoth. Very nice. I think also at that point I'm like, please give me a Yawgmoth. Come on. And we did draw it. Very nice. I think from here we're just able to run away with the game. Play Yawg, sack. I think my draws here actually aren't good. I draw 2 Yawgmoths, no creatures, and I actually have to stop because I'm at 8. And if they have a Flage or like a Bolt, it's pretty bad. And they have a Prison, which is fine because I have the Boseiju, which I decided to just use to take less damage. They crash in. I am forced to block and sack to take less damage. Pray for Papa Yawg a bit too much there. I know. Yeah, a bit too much. We got too many of them in our hand. I draw into a Green Sun, which is nice. And then what happens? What do they do? They play a Pride, which is fine. They didn't gain any life this turn. I think I just go for a Endurance here because I don't remember. I think I might have taken Hapatra out. No, I don't get Hapatra here because there's nothing for me to do. Oh no, she's in the graveyard now. I think I just get Endurance here. Oh, Happy New Cacophony! Happy New Year to you as well. Yes, sir. Just going over my replay from yesterday, the games that we played yesterday, or the games that I played yesterday off stream. Go for Endurance, exile their graveyard, or shuffle the graveyard, attack here because I can attack pretty safely now. I do have access to Dried Arbor, which is why I attack here with Yawgmoth. But after I attack with Yawgmoth, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. Because I just need to be on the defensive. So I block the Pride, I block the token, and then I sack, take out the token. Still not drawing very good. Just drawing like land. They do play a Pride and they gain life. I'm like, oh, it's actually not good. And I think I draw... What do I draw here? Court. Okay, so this is good. So I decide to risk it a little bit, and I think I go for a Blood Artist here to just gain some life. I sack, and I draw another land. I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad. So now I'm just on the defense. They have no cards in hand. If they do rip a Flage, we're not dead because of Blood Artist. So they actually don't attack here, which I don't understand why, because I'm only going to be blocking with 1. I guess they're only dealing 1 damage. And then we rip another Green Sun, which is very nice. And then I think I just go get the Youngest Wolf here. And then I think the game is sealed after that. Because now I can finally draw cards. I'm gaining more life, and we draw another chord. Yes, sir. And then I'm overly cautious here. I just decide not to chord. They didn't react to anything, but I just decided to chord on their upkeep just in case they were sandbagging something, and we get the W. Very nice. And then round 9, this was against Mardu Energy. This is actually against, this person is actually a fan of my content. They watch my stuff. So someone messaged me on Discord when I was playing this game, right when I started this game. And I'm like, what? What is this person message? Like, they said something that didn't make sense. I'm like, what? And then they said good luck. I'm like, oh, we're playing against each other. I didn't notice because their username was different. So played against him. Played, this hand is pretty fine. They Thoughtseize. This was a little bit strange. They Thoughtseize and they took Grist. I don't know why they did that. I feel like they should have taken the chord. I think maybe they have another. Maybe they have 2 Thoughtseizes if I'm remembering, and they just take the chord after I play the Grist. Maybe that's what happens. So I play the first Grist here. I just start plussing, mill a Yawgmoth, which is not bad. But I play Najani. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't take the chord then. I draw into another chord, by the way. Always had it. I decide not to play out Blood Artist here, just so I could hold up a chord for 2. They go to their turn. I think they crash out, and I don't block just so I can have. Oh no, I do block on the Kurd. I do block on the not Kurd Ape. I block on the Johnny. They go for that, and then they have a Bowmaster to take out my Halfling, which is fine because I also have a Bowmaster with the chord, and they know that I have this chord, so I make sure to use the art that they know about. That's something that you have to keep in mind, by the way. If you're playing in paper, if you're playing online, and you use different arts, if your opponent, you have to be careful of what you show your opponent, because my opponent knows that I have this chord, but they don't know that I have this chord. So you have to keep that in mind when playing. Solution: yes. If you use one art, if you're very uniform, that's actually good. So I go for the chord that they know about. I get a Bowmaster of my own. I just take out their Ajani because I think that's more important. We go to my turn again. I think I rip a Cauldron off the top here. Yeah. Oh, Cauldron off the top. Have a Yawgmoth in the graveyard. GG. And then, yeah, they concede. I go to chord for the Queen, I think. Yeah, they concede at that point. Very nice. And then game number 2, I did get this 1 and 2 as well. Play Guide of Souls. I go for a Dried Arbor turn 1, even though it is risky. I kept this hand. Why did I keep this hand? I think this hand should have been a mole. I think I kept it on the strength of if I drew like land, it's really good because I have a Bowmaster, I have Papatra, I have a chord. So if I just hit land drops multiple times in a row, I think it was fine. I do. Why? I do. Why? What? I think it's a mole. No, I think it's fine. Like I think it's reasonable to mull the hand, but I think my mindset at this point. I think my mindset at this point is also if I just draw land drops with this hand, it's really good. So which kind of happens. I mean, they don't kill the Dried Arbor turn 1, which is huge, and then we draw into a Halfling, and we also have Bowmaster up. So very nice. Sideboard guide soon, Mr. Meaty. Yes, I will be working on it this week. I'm gonna try to get it out before the end of the week. But now that the main reason why I hadn't made a sideboard guide yet is because I was waiting I needed to get on a list that I enjoyed and I felt good, and also I wanted for the meta to settle. So now that I'm pretty happy with this list and the meta is kind of settled, I think we can do it now. They go for a Galvanic main phase on my Halfling. They go for a jump here, but they made a mistake. They should not have jumped the cat. They jumped the cat, but they should have 100% either jumped. Oh wait, no, I think they just jumped the guy. Never mind. I think that's what they do. Yeah, okay, they jumped through that. Never mind. I was hoping for them to. In the moment, I was hoping for them to jump the cat, but yeah, they were smarter than that. So they jump that. That's fine. I just decided to flash in the Bowmasters on the cat to take it out. We take 4. That's fine. Go to our turn, play the queen, and then we just hold up the Court of Calling here. I need a cord for a halfling to have black mana to play Yawgmoth. They have 2 cards in hand. I just take this. That's fine. And then I'm hoping that they don't have a removal spell. Oh, I didn't cord. Why didn't I cord there? What was I think I was just hoping to draw a black source. I think maybe I was valuing my cord more for something else. I draw into a halfling, which is kind of like a black source, and then I just hold up endurance here. I should have attacked with the Hapatra. I think I was playing around Bowmasters, though. They decide not to attack with the Guide of Souls, or maybe they were worried about endurance or something. To go to my turn, I just play Yawgmoth, and then I cord for Blood Artist, and the game is over. I believe. Yeah. Very nice. So that was my round 9 match, and then after round 9, I did go live. So round 10, quarterfinals and semifinals are all up on my Twitch, which I played yesterday. All right, so the last round of Swiss was against what do you call it? Underworld Breach. I keep this hand because we have the acceleration turn 1. We have double cord. We have a rumble. This hand's pretty good. I go for a Dread Arbor. They go for a pretty insane start. I'm like, okay, that's pretty scary. I thought my hand was good. It was not as good as theirs. I hit a Rumble. I find a Wall of Roots. Just ordered the Bloomburrow Secret Lair Metamorph. There's a Secret Lair Metamorph for that one? Oh, not Bloomburrow. Oh, that's sick. Duskmourn. Yeah, that one's sick. I mean, the Kojima ones are also very sick. I like those ones as well. I did not jump on the Kojima Secret Lair, though. I should have. But the one that I use is the, what is it? The box promo. This one. That one's sick. So versus energy post board, your ideal hand has at least 2 lands, but at least like a push or decay rather than a medium hand with a weaker accelerator and weak interaction, hoping for stronger top decks. Energy post board, your ideal hand at least 2 lands, but at least push or decay rather than medium. Yeah, I mean, because that's how you slow down energy. Energy is an aggro deck, right? So in a long grindy game, you should be better at getting out of like a slower hand than they are. So if you can just slow them down early game by like just having removal, just like push their Guide, push their Ajani, and they just have like they're just left with like little guys that you can manage, then you put yourself in a much better spot because then they can't run you over in like 3 turns, and then you can usually just stick a Yawg and win. Kojima bonus 35, yeah, 35. I mean, it's Kojima. Come on. So they have a pretty insane start, but they only have 2 cards in hand. So I'm like, huh. I mean, I'm like streaming at this point, so I think I need to like hold up Bowmasters plus cord here, so I can go for a Yawg next turn. I go for a Bowmasters here with the Bauble on the stack to take out the Emery. They go for a Saga. They go for a Bauble. They attack. That's fine. They draw a card to flip the Tameo. I ping them. They go for another Amber. They play another Emery. They have 2 cards in hand. And then I cord here, I think. Do I get the Queen? What do I get? I get Endurance, maybe? Yeah, I just get Endurance to deal with their graveyard. And then I think I just play Capital Yawgmoth. They do have they had a Sink into Stupor, so I'm like, oh, that's annoying. So I just attack at them or Tameo? Yeah, attack at Tameo because like they would have to sacrifice their Emery to keep their Tameo alive. They replay the Bauble. I go cord for a Halfling because I'm worried about them having a counterspell. So you are the one that want to play the control game as much as possible rather than race and play the board. Sorry. Here's my question, try to optimize my understanding. No, I mean, that's what I'm here for. Hey, if you ask as many questions as you want, I'm more than happy to answer. Yes, sir. So I get a Halfling to play around counter magic because I don't, like, they sink into Stupid, which I can't dodge with the Halfling, but if they have, like, a Metallic Rebuke or something. I just crash in here. They make a construct, which is fine. I just shrink it and then eat it with the endurance. think I actually die here. I can't remember. I mean, you guys saw it on stream. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, I'm fine. They were trying to dig for answers, but they do not find any. Of course, yes, sir. Okay, Tamiyo. So I mulled my first hand because I didn't have any action, and then I keep this one because at least we have Boseiju and Liberator. I didn't really want to mold a 5. Just play Yawgmoth past turn. They swing in. They play Saga. They play Emry. Pretty scary. They also hit 2 Opals, which is pretty good. I think I die here. No, I don't. I think I die next turn. They play... Oh, no. Okay. It goes on for a little bit, I think. I'm like just trying to find something. I play the Liberator to take out the Saga. But I think they just go on the beatdown plan. I think I just can't keep up. Flash in a Bowman. Take out the Emry. Abrupt Decay, which was interesting. I try to keep... I think I just attack them instead of the Tamiyo. Yeah. I just hold up the Abrupt Decay and the Boseiju here. They have a Pyroclasm, which is brutal. I have another Tamiyo as well. I think I'm just cooked at this point. I mean, I draw Force to, like, try to slow them down, but I don't think it's enough. I think they play the combo here. Yeah, they have the Breach and they have the Grinding Station. Yeah. We lose. And then game 3, I think they just... Oh, they had... Game 3, I messed up. So this hand... I keep this hand just on the strength of the Force. And I prematurely forced their... Because they mulled a 6. And I forced their Urza Saga, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just held on to the Force for the Underworld Breach. That's how I lose. And I got a little bit too hasty, and I just did it right away. But we very quickly lose after I made that play, because I play Grist, and then they untap land, play Grinding Station, and then they untap land, play Underworld Breach, and we die. And they already have a 0 in the yard, so yeah, we are dead. Now, round 11. So we still sneak into top 8 because I had the best breakers at X and 1. So going into this, we know our opponent's on Breach. We have a 1-lander here, so I can't keep. Go to this. This is like okay. I think I keep this, put back Dried Arbor. Yeah. I go for the... They go for Haywire Might turn 1. That's fine. I go for the Dried Arbor. Emry with Opal so strong. Oh my goodness. Do not draw an untapped land, so I can't play Grist here. They had no lands in play at one time, though, which is pretty crazy. They find a Grinding Station. They have 1 card in hand. I have no creatures main board to deal with Underworld Breach. So I think I'm just trying to build out my board here. I play Yawgmoth. I think I just die the following turn. But I was thinking that I maybe had like something. I have Unholy Heat. No, I don't die yet. Yeah, so I'm not dead. Play Rumble, find a land, play Yawgmoth, pass turn. No Cauldron in the graveyard, no Ballista either, so I can't really go for the setup yet. Could have courted for a Bowmaster, but I don't think it's really that important. We do draw Endurance, which is very big. So here's where I messed up. I think I did mess up on the Endurance timing, now that I think about it. Happy New Year! Hey, Happy New Year to you as well. So they draw Oracle, they draw that, they scry, and then they draw a card off of the Lantern, and then they hit the Underworld Breach. So I did this prematurely. I should have just waited. If I just waited for them to activate the Grinding Station once, I respond to that, and then I get the graveyard. But yeah, I activated way too soon, and then I ended up losing because of it. I was too locked in. I locked in too hard, and I shat the bed. And then game two, I'm not going to show game two, but we won. I mean, we just timed them out. I mean, I didn't clock core them. I made them go through their combo. I could show game two. It was actually really close. Like I was going back and forth with the opponent a lot. Yeah, they had 9 minutes on the clock. I keep this hand on the strength of Collector Ufi. I put back Grist. They play Emery turn 1 again. I Surveil. I just pass turn holding up Bowmaster here. They flash back the Bauble. I flash in Bowmaster end step just to have more bodies for Cord. They do have an Unholy Heat, which is good because now we have our Collector Oof is fine. I would decide to play the Ufi, and then I would just play the tap land, and I keep the Dryad Arbor in my hand because I want to have a green card to pitch to force. That's not my Cord. So I actually don't do anything here. I go get a Dryad Arbor, or no, I go Cord for 2, or I get a Green Sun for 2 to get a Wall of Roots to eventually Cord for a Yawgmoth. Still not playing the Dryad Arbor because I don't want to, or I need to have a green card to pitch. They're going on the Saga plan, which is annoying. They're just beating down. I'm being patient with my force. I do draw a land, so I can play that, and then we just pass turn. And then I think I chump block here and I force, though I forget that they can activate Emery instant speed. Emery's so strong. But I do go get Yawgmoth, and they do replay the Needle, I believe. But we do have Cauldron. We do draw into Cauldron, and we draw into Jailer, which is really nice. They have the Unholy Heat for the Oof. I think that was the last one. Oh no, they have one more. They have one more Unholy Heat. But Oof is down, which is sad because it unlocks their thing. They do draw an Underworld Breach, and they do replay the Pithing Needle, which is unfortunate. But we have the Cauldron, and we do have a Jailer to slow them down. I draw into a land, which is fine. I go for a Rumble. I pick up a Seiju, and I hold on to it just to have another avenue out of the game if they have the nuts. They draw a bunch of cards off of Baubles. They play another Rumble. They play a Tamiyo. I Boseiju the Needle again so I can unlock my Yawgmoth. I try to take out the Tamiyo. I drew into a Cord, which is very nice. I should have just corded for Endurance here. They play Jace. I think I cord for Endurance here, end step. A Grinding Station. I get Endurance, right? Yeah, I go get Endurance. And we draw into a Decay. So here, this was the... Oh no, it wasn't. It was the next turn. Next turn is very interesting because it was the turn where I needed to hold up Decay plus Habit Hibida plus Shifting Woodland, right? So they have a whatchamacallit, a Flame of Anor, which I didn't see the entire time. I had not seen Flame of Anor the entire game. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so good here. So they try to destroy my Cauldron plus my Jailer, but I can actually save my Jailer here by proliferating. So I put a Wall of Roots counter, or I exile a Wall of Roots to put a counter on my Jailer. Because I can double proliferate. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I put a counter there, and then I go for the proliferate, discarding a Yawgmoth. And then I keep my Jailer alive, but then they have a Pyroclasm. I'm like, oh my god. So that's unfortunate. So I just sacrifice targeting the Tamiyo so it kills their Tamiyo. They have 4 cards in hand still. I know one of them is an Underworld Breach. So I draw Shifting Woodland, which is really good. So I was thinking, I'm like, oh man, what do I need at this point? And I draw, like, I was like, oh, Shifting Woodland, oh, that's awesome. So now I have two avenues of interaction here. I can hold up Abrupt Decay, and I can also hold up Woodland activation on Jailer. Unfortunately, they're a good player, and they downtick to get back Flame of Anor from their graveyard, which there's nothing I can do about that. I could turn my Woodland into a Cauldron and exile the Flame of Anor, but then I only have 1 mana up, and I can't do anything else. I can't use Abrupt Decay on anything. So I'm like, ugh. So they get back Flame of Anor. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. And then they go for Underworld Breach, which is fine. And then they go for activation. And I'm gonna hit the Breach first. So I hit it with the Abrupt Decay. They mill 3, and then they play another one. And I'm like, okay, nice. So now I'm going to respond by turning my Woodland into the Jailer, and now I should be fine. So I took my guy into the Jailer, and then they play that, but then they have a land, or they plus on the Jace and they hit a land, and then they're able to Flame of Anor my Jailer. I'm like, oh. So they hit that, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll draw a card. And I've tried to draw into another Endurance here, I think. Yeah, I try to draw into another Endurance, it does not happen, and then I just yield through the turn. I let my opponent try to combo. I yield through the turn, but they were not able to. Yes, sir. And we got the W. We take those. So that was nice. Very cool, very cool. And then the last game here. This was the semifinals. Unfortunately, it was against Energy. It was against the person who won the whole thing, Glacier. But they got it into. It was my only loss to Energy in the entire tournament. I mulled a 6 because my first hand was not good. They won the die roll. And I think this hand is fine enough to keep. I put back a land. They start. Unfortunately, they do not start on a Surveil land. We go Halfling past turn. They attack. I block. They have a removal spell, which is fine. They grow. We have another Halfling. I'm like, okay, at least we are building out our board here. And they go for a Blood Moon, which is not the worst because we do have Beseju. I do a Rumble, but we hit nothing. We hit two lands and we hit 3 lands and a Bowmaster, which I could have taken the Bowmaster, but I actually wanted the second Beseju just in case. So I have the Beseju in my hand. They go from Bombardment and they play a Johnny, so I'm like, well, shoot. So now I have to take care of the Bombardment first, which I do. They play a Johnny, and then they get in for 1. They make a bunch of tokens. Go to my turn. I hit another Rumble. We do find a Cauldron, but there's nothing in graveyard to hit with a Cauldron. And so but I still play it anyways. And then I pass turn, and then they have another Bombardment. And I'm like, okay, and then we die. If we hit Yawgmoth at any point there in any of the Rumbles, that would have been fine, but we just never hit Yawgmoth off of 2 Rumbles. And so here is my game. Okay, yes, hindsight, I don't think I should have kept this hand, but you guys are gonna see what I kept. Oh, hold on, I accidentally hit the fast forward button. Okay, so I'm on the play now, and this is the hand that I keep. If the replay system wants to work. Okay, so this is the hand that I keep. I have double Endurance, Force, 3 lands, Yawgmoth, and I have a Surveil land. So I'm thinking this is okay. This is a little bit on the slower side, but I have interaction with Force and with Beseju if I need to, and I have Endurance that can be good as a blocker and to keep their graveyard in check. So I'm like, I think this might be fine. That's my initial thought. Also, I just didn't want to mull mainly against Energy, but I think I should have in hindsight. So like, okay, I think this is fine enough. We play out Yawgmoth past turn. They go for a Guide of Souls on 1, I think. Yeah. And then I think we draw into our other Force, which is pretty bad. Like the worst draw possible, I think. Past turn, and I think they just go crazy mode here. They go for a Johnny. I'm like, okay, sure. But I think they have double Ocelot next turn. I think we lose because of that. So let's see. So I go to fetch. I Surveil, try to find something. What is it? I think it's a Chord. Yeah, so it is a Chord, but I have no real acceleration here. Like I don't have a wall. I don't have a Bowmaster. I have Endurance, which I could hard cast 1 Endurance, and then next turn I could pitch. And I have, but it's only going to be a court for a 6 unless I draw exactly a land. So I decided to bottom it. Decided to put it in the graveyard, try to look for like a rumble or something, or a removal spell. And we draw into a halfling, which is also really bad. And then I just lose because I think my opponent just goes for double. Opponent goes for double Ocelot Pride here. I think we just die. I flash in the Endurance. I try to just block to prevent some damage. A Surgical Extraction my Cord also. And then they go for another Ocelot Pride and we lose the game. Oh well, it happens. They ended up winning the whole thing. Congratulations to them for doing that. But yeah. Oh, that was my run. Not bad. Hey, top 4, I'll take it. We did get an RC invite with that, by the way, which is very fun. That was my first one of this season. I've made top 8 3 times in this standard season, but I've not won an invite yet. But that one was nice. Portland I'm already going to. I already had an invite for that one, but it gives me an RC invite for the current season. So it gives me an RC invite for standard, which is in April or May. I don't know where. I think it's going to be Connecticut. Is that where? I don't remember. But yeah, I'll be going to those. I'm still going to be playing standard because I'm having a lot of fun. I just finished building.
Very good.
Very good. I just finished building crabs. That deck is so much fun. The Sultai crabs. Oh, play a Tolarian Terror. Draw 3 cards. Play a big ass crab. Tap your things. Okay, I'll swing for 15. I love it, dude. So fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Wait, we got Corona. Yes, sir. Brr. But yeah, that was my replay. Those are the games that I wanted to go over. I'll turn this into a video, get this uploaded on the channel. Also, I'll work on the sideboard guide. I hope you guys have a nice, happy new year. I hope you don't drink and drive. Be responsible. Be safe tonight, okay? I want to see everyone on the following day. But I hope everyone has a nice, happy new year, and I will see you next time I see you.